You critique. But what I'm going to teach, what I'm going to dwell on is, how do we agree to disagree agreeably? How are we not going to allow minor disagreement to happen to create problem for us? Why is this topic important? Allah says in Quran chapter 8 verse 46, and that is the importance of these topics. Some people will say, why are they discussing this? Like, you can even discuss here. Why? بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. You are in academic environment. You need to write the objective. Why is it important? Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasul wa la tanazzahu fatafsalu wa tasiabu rihukum wasbiru inna Allaha ma'as sabirin. Takbir. There's no time. I was given only 1 hour. I don't know if I'll be able to do justice to it, but I've promised to send the material to Dr. Loko. You Latina Amanu, those who claim to believe, those who believe, Ati'u Allah, obey Allah, Ati'u Rasulah, obey the messenger. Wala tanassahu, don't fall into disputes among yourself. Don't go into a necessary argument, unnecessary disagreement. If you do, what will happen? Fatafsalu, you will lose heart. You will lose heart. You will be sad. You will be sad. How many of you have argued with somebody? At the end of the day, you realize that you are wrong. How will you feel?
Sad.
If you are arguing with somebody and you think you are right, if you are eventually right, you will feel high. If you are eventually wrong, how will you feel? You feel bad. And if you continue to argue, I don't see anybody who you argue with and you continue to beat him in an argument that will come to discuss with you again. Nobody wants his ego to be deflated. When you argue a lot, you'll be winning the argument, you'll be losing friendship. No, we are not saying that Islam abhors argument. Islam recognizes and recommends and appraises it, and they urges us to question. To do what?
Question.
Even the angels ask. Quran chapter 2 verse 31. When Allah wanted to create Adam, he told angels, I want to create a human being. They said, Quran chapter 2, he said, why do you want to create him? We worship you. These people will be shedding blood. Islam is not a dogmatic religion. What we have is smart trust, not blind faith. Smart trust is different from blind faith. The trust you have in your doctor is a smart trust because they have tested him, they have certified him to be okay. Angel says, you are going to create. Why was Allah consulting? He was just teaching us to do consultation whenever we want to do anything. That is the essence. Who are the angels for you there to be consulted by Allah? Who are they? Who are they? Baba, tell our angel now. Why must he tell them? Because he's telling you that whatever you want to do with your child, you must consult.
Allahu Akbar.
Jeffrey Lang wrote a book. He called it The Angel Asks. Ibrahim asks,
Alayhi salatu wassalam.
Allah, how will you resuscitate the dead after they have died? Miriam asked, when he was told he's going to get a child, he said, how will I have a child when I've not been touched by any man? Musa asked, Musa says, Allah, I want to see you. How can I see you? What I'm saying is Islam encourages questioning. Islam encourages interrogation. Islam encourages finding out how things happen. But there are limitations. If you argue unnecessarily, you are going to lose heart. You will lose your courage. You will lose your power. Your enemies will have power over you because you are doing ear-splitting exercise. That is the implication. If you continue to argue unnecessarily, I want you to go away with something here. If you have arguments in Islam, they are not about the three fundamental aspects of every Muslim's life. We have three fundamental aspects of our life. Number one, ibadah. All scholars agree on the issues of ibadah. How many salat in a day? 5. When do you fast in Ramadan? 9th month. When do you go on Hajj? How do you do zakah? All those things. Stealing is bad. Goodness to parents is good. Taking alcohol is bad. Pork is bad. Anything about ibadah, the scholars agree on them in total. You won't see anybody who will observe his salat to Zuri in the morning. So you need to go to Arrow. But somebody to say in Safar, month of Safar, what are you doing? I'm fasting Ramadan. On the issue of Ibadah, all scholars agree. On the issue of Aqidah, 6 articles of faith. Believe in Allah, believe in angel, day of judgment, all the rest of them, resurrection. Every Muslim must believe in it, and all scholars agree on. There could be questions, which is allowed. When Allah says in Al-Jannah, you are going to be drinking cheese, you are going to be taking honey, you are going to be taking milk, you are going to be taking this. Just to equate it with what our knowledge can comprehend, our intellect can comprehend. What is in the heaven is more than cheese, is more than honey, is more than milk. When I was lecturing a few days ago, I told somebody, if your heart is to be doing good because of honey, what will you say? Or because of cheese? So that when you get enter Al-Jannah, you will eat cheese. Only me cheese, I don't like cheese. It's not about cheese, it's not about honey, it's not about milk, but what our knowledge, what our intellect can comprehend. The ancients asked Allah, they said, did you create something that's bigger than your throne? He said yes. They asked him, what was that? He said, intellect. They said, how big is intellect? He said, your intellect cannot understand it.
Allah Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
How big is intellect? Your intellect cannot understand how big is intellect. He said, can you count the number of sand? He said, no, you can't understand intellect. On this of Aqidah, articles of faith, all scholars agree. There could be questions here and there. There are some that scholars will say, why are you troubling yourself? Is Jesus coming back? What is your business? The scholar says, if he comes back, welcome. But what do I lose? You don't ask. There are things you don't ask. On the issue of Muamalat, some fundamental social affairs, they agree on it. Inheritance, how it to be shared, either period, they agree on it, but they differ on some minor issues, and I will tell you why they differ and why they will continue to differ till eternity. We are going to differ. As long as they differ, none of them will claim to be invaluable. None of them will claim not to make mistake. They will say, this is the way I understand it because this is my level of knowledge. Imam Safi will say, I feel I'm wrong as long as I feel that I'm right. I may be wrong, you may be right. I may be right, you may be wrong. After every argument, Safi will say that. He says, I may be wrong, you, and you may be right. I may be right, you may be wrong. May Allah let me see the truth through you. That's what he will say. But for you to say, I'm right, how can you say you are right? Why do scholars differ? I've chosen to take this topic because of our academic environment that we find ourselves. I won't mention the universities in Lagos now, in Lagos State. It's in Lagos. That university is locked up after every obligatory prayer because of argument. Because of argument, unnecessary issues. That's why it is compulsory to teach our students the ethics of disagreement in Islam. You don't argue unnecessarily. Allah, our Creator, says, "Walau sa'arabuka la ja'alakum ummatan wahidatan wa la yaktaluna
mukhtalifin."
Quran chapter 11 verse 19. If I had wished, I would have made you one, but you will not cease to disagree.
Allahu Akbar.
Some scholars will be quoting an hadith that says, "Al-ikhtilaf baina ummati rahma." Disagreement among my women is a blessing. That is not what the prophet meant. What he meant is that there has to be so many opinions on issue. You won't say, Islamic finance ends here. Islamic engineering ends here. There has to be room for more researches That's why Islamic finance, Abu Hanifa was the hero there. And that's what the prophet is saying, that when my ummah, when they explore so many opportunities, it's a blessing to me. Why do scholars differ? Why do scholars differ? And why are they going to continue to differ? So that when you are arguing in the mosque or your mosque at home or on campus here, you know that there is bound to be disagreement. Why? Number one, Quran and Sunnah are silent on some issues. They are not mentioned. They are not mentioned. E.g., organ transplant. Somebody come and show me in the Quran where you have organ transplant. Blood transfusion. Salat inside aeroplane.